That sounds
dough with
It's
cheese.
so good.
right.
All right, guys. Next time we're doing a podcast at
Casa Costa.
at the churrasco place, Estancia.
Estancia? Oh, fire. Yeah, that would be great to do a
Amen.
podcast there. Yeah.
Imagine.
There's no talking. Just, do you want steak? Yeah, I would really like
All right,
steak.
fighter stance. That's my pay. Let's go.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyways, so welcome to another Fighter Stance podcast. I'm Patrick Miller here with Nick Booty Judge.
Nick Booty Judge here, head of product development. We have a special guest this week, but before that, I'll go to Zach.
Hey, I'm Zach. And we are joined here by Xande Ribeiro, the legend. God, I can't even go down your whole resume. Multiple time world champion, Hall of Famer, multiple places.
ADCC, IBJJF.
Guys, like, this is a list of things. I can't even begin to go, but welcome. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to share with you guys. We've been training together. I've been welcomed in Austin for many years. I've done the Sheepdog courses. Now it's time to just come here and talk.
Yeah. How long ago did you move to Austin?
I officially moved in 2020. I guess where everybody moved. That was a whole immigration coming. But coming to Austin was already a plan. That was already on the map for me. I was in San Diego for about almost 15 years, and then I just felt that I wanted something new. California, I'm not a beach guy.
Right.
I just like stay home. So I think, looking in the business economy and quality of life, I thought Texas has always been in the radar. And everybody just say you should go to Austin. I'm like, Austin. But then the thing is, I flew here many times, but I would just stay in Pflugerville. I never really enjoyed Austin. And then many years ago, I met with Paulo. I said, hey, Paulo, I have this idea. I'm not sure about Austin. So what do you think? I said, hey, man, you should come. And then, of course, we had a dinner together and I pointed.
So I know that you guys listen to podcasts, so you know that I love defense soaps and defense wipes. They also have a large array of other products. Like we have 2 foot washing stations out at the mats. So it's not just soap and it's not just wipes. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. So make sure you guys go check out their website and get some of the other products as well as your defense wipes and your defense soap.
The plan was to move in 2021. I had like 9 months of seminar and all. So I said, okay, I'm going to just raise a lot of money and open a school. But then when COVID hit, everybody was at home stranded. So I was stranded in San Diego. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to strand somewhere, I'm going to strand somewhere that I can actually walk on the street and be a normal citizen. So I just made the move a little earlier. Luckily enough, I found my apartment, I found my academy, and there was just destiny from there.
It's a beautiful academy too. What is the address where you guys are at?
It's on 183. It's a 14683. I don't know the address.
Yeah. It's really close to here.
6 Blades, 6 Blades Austin.
Yeah.
That's less shame.
If you're on 183 and you're driving, it says Jujitsu on the side of the building.
You see the logo. The state capital.
So you guys have that location, and then you have Lake Travis too, correct?
Yeah, Lake Travis is Victor Hugo. Yeah. So when I moved, basically I moved a lot of guys with me. By the way, guys, it's 13642 North Highway 93. So basically, when I moved, I brought Victor with me, I brought Steve Hargett, and I had like a whole crew with me. I brought Alex, which is my kids instructor, his wife, my business partner, my daughter moved in with me and everything. And and then the opportunity for opening a school in Lake Travis came about. Like I remember when I was doing, you do research and business, you say, okay, Lake Travis is a high area and stuff. There was nothing much there. I'm like, but that's not Austin. People say that I'm not in Austin. Imagine Cedar Park, So
I think Austin is from like New Braunfels all the way to like Florence now. Like it's so big.
And then what happened, and then of course with Victor, joining and with his career, that was kind of like, whoa, that could be a problem because now he has to be a business owner and stuff. But we got a team. So basically, Lake Travis was a business experiment that was very successful. He can teach. He already he has a good business going. So Lake Travis was successful like right off the bat. In 6 months, he was, for us, even I have always been a teacher. Fighting has never been my number one, work. I have always teach. I always mix with that, and sometimes I felt that took me away from some things that I should have done as an athlete. But with him, everything works perfect. So Lake Travis is amazing, and we have a good thing going on. We have Lake Travis, we have HQ, and then we have Rabati in Pflugerville, and then Paulo in South Austin. So those are the schools that when someone, where do I train real jiu-jitsu? That's the place that we go.
Can you imagine if he focused just on fighting?
Yeah, that's
Christ.
he was like his fighting was a second thing, teaching was a
Jesus
first.
Christ.
He only won everything.
Yeah, there was nothing else to win.
Yeah, because there was no industry.
Yeah.
The industry of fighting wasn't there. I fought many tournaments that I like when I make my accounting at the end of the month. I'm like, well, I'm paying to fight those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay because watching guys like Mika Galvão and all those kids, they can fight for thousands of dollars, which in Brazil,
Yeah.
if Mika fights one fight, he already makes more money than a judge in Brazil.
Yeah.
Just watch Cole Abadi and all those kids and Victor, Victor already, he's playing to buy in a house and things like this. So I think for me, I did what I had to do to that generation. I think also because I spent kind of half a half, the business was okay and the fighting was good. It could be great, and probably the business would be shitty at that point. But there's no regret. I just did what I had to do because I had time for that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, those guys fight every month. Like every month there's something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that would be the case, I'll have never even done like an association or things like this. But also, I had my brother with me, so we always kind of exchanged because he was like, when I was coming in, he was like almost ending his career. So that was good because we always exchange like hats. He was a coach, I was a coach. I was training, he was teaching, so we were able to kind of play that teamwork.
That's awesome.
Your brother Saulo.
Saulo Ribeiro, yes.
Yeah. Also has won everything.
Yeah.
But
Just everything.
yeah.
in every single division possible.
Yeah.
He also literally wrote the book on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Jiu-Jitsu University. So check it out. We come in with a second edition soon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's got it in his
I
office.
brought my copy
Yeah.
in the office.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, the book is amazing, man. Like we're so like it's funny that those ideas just come out of conversations. It's like, oh, you think, oh, like, well, yeah, the white belt first, don't die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, survival. I'll say after, like I was saying today, find home. So what is finding home? It's surviving.
Yeah.
So when you already act upon lack of positioning, you don't find your survival position first. That now you can, navigate from that. So it's survival and then escaping, and then which, if you think about this, like the way the jiu-jitsu would be like, someone takes you down, right? Now you're on the bottom. Now you're surviving. Your second job, you escape. Most likely, you're still on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then purple belt is sweeping. Is guard. So I mean, get on the top, and then brown belt, which is divided by brown belts, is guard passing, mounting, basically the top position, and then black belt is submission. Because if you can't submit, and then I don't know, you're doing ballet or something.
When I was deployed to Iraq, especially like my second deployment, it was hard to get it was hard to roll, but like I wanted to it was like I did the army thing, but I also trained jiu-jitsu every day, and I fought MMA. But we would order the books and we would use those, and we'd find a little bit of the old gymnastic mats, like the ones that fold up, and we would pull that book out and Andre Gaval's book, with
sweet.
the warm ups and stuff, and we would just for a year we would just skim through that and we want to try this tomorrow.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot of content out there. I think even today there's way too much.
Yeah.
content.
Back then there wasn't a lot.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It was like Budo videos and
like VHSs, and now we have this.
Yeah. Now you have
Which is
everything
great,
on the
yeah.
phone. Which is
Professor
crazy.
YouTube. Kids will send me videos and be like, "Can you show this at class?" I'm like, "I won't show that at class because it's
Stupid.
trash."
Sensei Tubi.
Honestly, I think that was the best part of today's class. It was just super fundamentals, real basic stuff, and just perfectly. And if you get the fundamentals perfect, then everything else seems so easy.
Definitely, yeah.
It was another big class though.
Yeah.
I put it out 2 weeks ago, and then there was a lot of people here today. It was a really good class.
Yeah, sorry, I just miscalculated. I was all the way south.
No, stop it.
You're
There's
good.
You're
nothing
totally
to
fine.
do with
No,
that.
because the first thing Andrew tells me, "Oh, Brazilian time." I say, "Dude, I'm gonna
Fucking fight you.
I've kicked people out of my seminars."
Today, you're one of my favorite grapplers of all time. You, Adolfo Vieira and Ricardo Arona.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ricardo Arona when he did the ADCCs and like that was like that. And then your closed guard and like you said one of the coldest things I've ever heard in my life. They were talking about American Jiu-Jitsu and you're like, what is that? Still can't pass my guard. I was like, he's not wrong.
Well, yeah, that was more like, you know, I think this whole thing, man, just think just separates. You know, I think like it's like, well, we all know why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because there was a lawsuit. You know, otherwise we would be teaching Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
That's the main start. Even in Brazil, there's no such things as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, now it's BJJ. You do BJJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I even don't like BJJ, even though my email has BJJ. In it. What do you do with BJJ? Like, what is this? Like, Jiu-Jitsu. You know? It's way more like romantic. What do you do with BJJ? There's no name. So I don't know. It just turned to that thing. I think it's all clickbait.
Yeah,
You know, you create a thing and then people click on it. They like stuff like that.
Whenever you said that, and I saw the video on Flow, I saw you say that. It was like on an Instagram reel, and I was like, it got me. I was like, I gotta watch this video now.
yeah. But you know, like I said, there's no such thing. But if you look at, you know, even if you say American Jiu-Jitsu, if you know anything about geography, it's still South American.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you should not even like feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all good. Like even like me, that I think I was the first ones that actually put a lot of work in an American, like which was Rafael. You know what I mean? So I guess I helped build that.
Yeah.
Also, though, like you're a legend, and then you have him who is a legend. I remember like the first time I ever heard anything about Lovato, I was at it was like a Naga or something like in like 2005, and he was selling like because he would go to Brazil and he'd like compete and he would record matches and then sell the DVDs. Yeah, I was one of the people that bought those DVDs. And, like I still have it, so I think it's in storage. But I was like, everyone's like, that's Lovato. He's like a purple belt, and there was no purple belts at the time.
He's just happy.
Yeah. I think I was already had a deployment to Iraq. Like I came back and everybody was like talking about him. I was like, oh, that's him.
You got to meet him? Wow, crazy.
Well, I got to meet him long enough to give him my money.
That's what we had to do back then. There's no YouTube, right?
No. Yeah, there was no YouTube. No, like you didn't have, it was like a flip phone. So you had to buy the DVDs.
I'm surprised you're not talking about VHS days.
He wasn't Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
He was a training back then.
Yeah. I was wrestling since I was 4.
Since you were 4, yeah. When did you start jiu-jitsu?
I started with judo as ever kid in Brazil. I even have my first vagi, like the gi top is little this big. You know,
Holy
like I said, you know, Koshiguruma headlock like a young kid, but then we always grapple. I always tell this story like me and my friends in my condo, we never really fought, but we always grappled. That was grass. We would grapple. One day, this kid just squeezed my neck from inside my guard and I tapped. So I knew what tap was. I knew like an arm lock, like a headlock. I knew those things, but I just knew judo, and I just had this ability to grapple. And then 1991, my brother was already training. So he had like about 6 months between jiu-jitsu, but he did karate. Saulo did everything. Everything that was competitive. You know, flipping coin, he'll be here, flipping coin until he wins. So yeah, and then I officially started in 1991. I was 10 years old. A place called Associação Monteiro de Jiu-Jitsu. There were 4 brothers. They're under Hoyler. You know, they're purple belts.
Wow.
And it's still the winningest school in the whole state of the Amazon. Paulo actually trained with us.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? Paulo is actually from our school too. So
oh, that's awesome.
yeah, we're all from the same tribe.
Small world.
So how did you get connected with Lovato? Did you just like come to your school or?
No, actually, he fought Saulo.
Oh really?
Yeah. So there was a tournament, the Arnold Classic. So the first guy, you know, thank you so much. You know, Helson was the first guy that opened the doors for us in America. He brought Saulo. Saulo lived with him. So they were approached by the Arnold Classic organization to come in and do a tournament for them. And Saulo fought. I fought Kakareko, Nogi, whatnot, and then Lovato fought Regis first. So Saulo and Regis are in the same division. So Lovato fought Regis, Footlocks Regis, and then Saulo fights Lovato. And then he's like, hey, man, you're really good. Come in to train with us anytime you want. And then he just took the chance and came in.
That's pretty
that
cool.
was brave. I really gotta respect Lovato for many reasons, but one of them, man, because that was brutal. Like the only person he kind of beat was the Airdyne. It's like this, man. Imagine like you're an average person, right? Like you're good, but like Saulo is still in his prime. I'm climbing the mountain. I was already probably like a Pan Am champion. Like I was already there, and it's just him and I and Airdyne. You know what I mean? So basically, so I would be trained with Saulo. He would be in the Airdyne, and then he would go in, and then he would fight me and Saulo.
And then go back to the air.
That's basically what it was.
And one of those old school Airdynes too.
Yeah, so all the way in Toledo, Ohio. Shout out to Chris Blanke, the guy that hosts us there for many years. So yeah, that was how everything started, and then we built a relationship, and his father always had the school in Oklahoma. They also had a beautiful story, how they met the Gracies, and how Lovato Senior had a school in Chicago, moved to Oklahoma City, built a Lovato school. They have such a beautiful story too, like to how much they do to train jiu-jitsu.
The thing too is like a lot of people don't know this, but Lovato was Bellator champion.
Yeah,
Like killing it. Like people thought, like, of course his jiu-jitsu is amazing, but like he's like solid. He's done like karate or that karate, but he did like
if I was a boxer, Golden Globe and all that, then we do have a great coach, the Evolution Thai team with Gide and Mauricio. They're great. They're from the shoot box lineage. So Rafael would go to Brazil for like 2 months, and those guys, man. Okay, you imagine a school that's like all porrada in jiu-jitsu. Now you go to a MMA school, that's all porrada. That's brutal, So unfortunately he had the thing with his covernoma. I was through the process. They let him fight. Like apparently the guy that was bitching about the covernoma was the guy wasn't there, so he wasn't not being approved to fight. That was so emotional for us. He got to beat Musasi. Musasi for me is one of the best ever. Him and Fedor. I put them; they're so good, and we got to win that. And then, unfortunately, he got stripped from the belt, and that was sad.
the Masasi fight, like a lot of people counted Lovato out, but like he showed out on that one. Like that was a great fight.
Oh, that was a great fight. The last round, I think they were the last round, but that was like on and off. I thought Musasi has great jiu-jitsu for MMA. There was a couple positions that I thought, man, we're gonna get this guy. He gotta keep escaping. But the last round was the one he put him down, smash him, and then that solidified. You know what I mean? Even the Musasi corner was talking some shit. I was like, okay, now I'm fighting you too.
Hey guys, you've been at the range all day. Got a dirty.
Oh my God!
Get you some SC14 cleaner. Clean up your gun.
But that was great.
Yeah, they need to settle down. He fought one more time though, right after that, like in Japan or something.
Yeah, we got invited. So, and then when everything happened, all the organizations, they're like, "Oh shit, he has a situation."
Yeah.
But I'll tell something. I've known Lovato for a little over 20 years now, maybe. I have never even seen the guy with a headache.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He gets a flu, which we all do, but like I never see him like hungover, like, okay, we go out to have a drink, and he's like, oh my God, I gotta stay.
Yeah.
Like I never seen the guy sick, not let alone a headache.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, I should have choked him a little less.
Maybe a little less air time.
So that's for me, that was impressive. Even look at the pride, the ways, even boxers, you know what I mean? Like, I think those guys have way more problems. And so anyway, I think it was like I think Covernoma was more of a like, but I think there's levels of Covernoma, right? I know a guy that like, he was from Austin. He was in a doctor, like a dentist. They turned the lights on, and he had like a something because of the light went in, and the kid like almost had a seizure or something.
Epilepsy, maybe.
Yeah, some sort of that idea. But like I said, man, Rafael did 11 fights before that, never a problem, never felt dizzy. But I get the concern. I guess I would say the concern. But the thing about that is not in the literature of medicine that will say he can't fight.
Yeah.
So it's more a liability, I would say.
I really so Musasi did, I know like that, like MMA math isn't a real thing, but I would have loved to see him in like the UFC. I think like if you look at let's say when Adesanya was the champion, and you look at Adesanya's style versus Lovato's style, I think Lovato's got a really good chance of winning that because like you look at when Adesanya fought Pereira and like you saw the wrestling and like Pereira took Adesanya down, horrible takedown. I was oh man, like if you get Lovato in there, like it's over. Like as long as he can avoid a couple punches to close the distance and do the jiu-jitsu thing, like it's real hard to beat Lovato.
Yeah, and his style, you know what I mean? His top game, Kimura, he's very good at Kimura, taking the back. So, you know, I think like a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, they when they go to MMA, for some reason, they miss positions that I thought they shouldn't.
Well, but like with that though too, like so Lovato came here and taught a seminar. Also, like not only is he an amazing competitor, just like you, he's an amazing instructor as well. Like not only did you guys teach him how to be an awesome competitor in jiu-jitsu, you also taught him how to teach. And like when he taught that seminar, it was 2 hours, and I was just like,
he's so good.
I should have like recorded all this because my mind is blown now. So
bring him again.
Yeah, 100%. And then so you have Lovato, you got Victor Hugo. Like Victor Hugo just beat Nicky Rod. Like you guys, like again, not only are you a legend, but you're now you've taught legends, and these guys are killers.
Yeah. You know, for me, like now that I stepped away, I'm really observing. Like I think one team that is really inspired me is the AOJ team. The way they brought the kids, I was able to bring guys that are more close to me. But now I'm starting to get to a point where financially the association is established, and I can actually go back and invest on the lower ranks. You know, the blue belts, the juveniles. I think that's where our team is missing a little bit. You know, we have great masters and professionals. You know, we have Laranjinha now. Felipe just won the ADCC trials in Brazil. So I think we have those guys that are really solid, but my goal is the kids. You know, that's my next focus, you know, to bring those guys up.
Arash. He just won Pans, right? Yeah, his weight division, the absolute.
Yeah, well, absolutely, he ended up, had no mistake. You know, Arash, is such a good kid. You know, he's very, very good character. You know, judo black belt. You know what I mean? Like, but sometimes I feel that when he comes back, like when he it happens to a lot of people. When you kind of cool down to go back up again, sometimes it's a little bit off. So we're doing things like we're gonna start to do things like, okay, you do one hard training session and then you rest for 30 minutes and then you go back. Because sometimes like I can, for example, do 4 matches in a row for 10 minutes, but if I go 10 minutes, rest 30, it doesn't come back the same. So there's a lot of things to play. We're gonna start to do like maybe like 2 hard sessions a day and then a rest day. So we need to play with those ideas, you know what I mean? Especially if we have guys that are doing, the weight division. Also, I think he went home that day and came back. So like for me, for example, every time I go home and come back, it's almost like my body, I think my soul just tells me, okay, today's gone.
You shut everything down. I'm the same way.
Now, like, what are you doing? Like, I thought we were going to go to bed.
I did the Austin Open, and they did gi and no gi in the same day. So I did my gi division, then I left and came back, and my no gi is like my strong suit. And whenever I came back, it wasn't the same. Like I felt, I was like, I feel like
I need to stay there.
I can't get back up. Like I drop back down and my body just doesn't go, it's time to kill again. Like
it's called age.
You're right.
Yeah, that's definitely it is. We have to keep moving because once the motor goes down, it doesn't go back up.
My back, my hips, my neck, my fingers, my eyes.
That's also
my neck. My that's it. And my
neck. There's nothing worse than whenever you get warmed up, you go out and compete, you feel amazing, and then you like walk off the mat, you're like, oh, I feel awesome. Last match. And then you're like, can somebody hand me some water? Where's the podium at?
It's right there.
That is an age thing.
Also, getting blown up in Iraq probably didn't help.
And Afghanistan.
Afghanistan
didn't help either. Yeah. That not at all. Or walking up mountains with 70 pounds on your back. That didn't help either.
Yeah, the wrecking. Yeah.
Everyone asks me, they're like, "Hey, would you rather be in Iraq or Afghanistan?" And I'm always like, Iraq has something, or Afghanistan has something that Iraq doesn't have. And I'm like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Fucking mountains." like I would rather be like kicking indoors, like being in like an urban area than like mountains. Fuck that.
Hey, isn't that like a movie that they talk about Afghanistan? It's kind of like a eerie kind of weird place because the mountain.
Yes.
They can hide.
Yeah, 100%. That, and then there's that, and then like if you're like, I've been all over Afghanistan, but if you're in like RC South, it's like desert and then giant mountains, and you're like I don't like understand. And then
What's
there's
RC South?
it's like Kandahar. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just like that area.
But-
They've changed the name every like 5 years.
Just
Like
a-
it's like TAC South
Just
now.
a curiosity, like Afghanistan, is that like a beautiful place? Like if you look, like is there like a
The scenery?
Like if the place would be like a tourism place?
It used to be really big for it.
Yeah, in the
really?
60s,
Yeah. It used to be like before the Taliban took over. It used to be very beautiful, and people would go like go on vacation there.
Oh.
Like if you like, I remember I was on top of a mountain, and like again, like so it's like desert, like sand everywhere, and then mountains, and we had to walk up a mountain.
But the mountain is like stone mountain, or
Yeah,
just like
stone mountain, but
there's,
they
like,
have-
vegetation.
They have, so where I was at, it was stone, but they do like TAC East, I think, RC East. I think, yeah, there's a lot of like beautiful vegetation there.
Oh, okay.
And like lakes and river, like it's, it's very, very pretty. Here's the problem though. If you're in RC South, but if you're on the mountain and you look and the sun's coming up, it's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, oh, this is beautiful. All of a sudden, pew, pew, pew. You're like, it's no longer beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Like
terrorists, for ruining the sunrise.
The eerie silence, right? What about Iraq? Now it's just like a plain field.
So like Oklahoma. It's kind of like that, but palm trees.
Okay.
Palm trees, the same.
Yeah. So they have like palm groves. Like it's like,
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then there's I think it's the Tigris River that runs through Iraq. Yeah. So like there's that river. There's vegetation on the side of it. There's also a lot of like open desert, but
Okay.
it's a lot of like when you're fighting though, it's mostly in cities.
Okay.
So like, and again, there's no mountains, so it's all flat ground. You might have to walk up some stairs. The IEDs suck. The house-born IEDs suck. But other than that, like I would much rather be in Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a Dubai, like just flat.
Yeah, I mean, and not
They could build. That's what I mean.
yeah.
It could be built.
Yeah. They would have the opportunity to make it like that if, like, again though. But it's just,
They can stop fighting each other.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
And maybe if they had all the money that Dubai had.
That's well,
Oil.
That helps.
Yeah.
There's a lot
so
of oil
it's-
in Iraq, but
Yeah, it's flat. It's like Oklahoma. Like, Oklahoma into Kansas is all the same.
Okay.
It's kind of like flat like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
just always walk around with sand in your ass crack and stuff.
Oh my god. It's not that, it's the moon dust. So there you have this fucking dust that's very fine, and when you take like a step in it, it's like powdered sugar where it'll like pop up and then it gets in your boots, and then if you sweating because 116 degrees, and then all that mixes together, you just stay dirty.
You got no
like,
showers out there either, huh?
I mean, you poke a hole in the, well, it'd be bigger, but you poke a hole in the top of it and you're just like, please get me clean.
You know, it would help if you had them out there.
Oh yeah, so if we had defense wipes. So if you guys are trying to get clean and you use SDR15, you get 15% off and you support the podcast. Bro, good setup. CMT that one up. CMT that
Get
one
'em
up.
up there.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So what's your favorite place that you've ever like taught a seminar at? Because you've been all over the world teaching jiu-jitsu. Don't single anybody. Like, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings.
Sheepdog.
Sheepdog Response.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Like, okay, I've taught everywhere, but I taught in cruise ships, which Zach and I had a chance to actually,
That was
bond.
fun.
Yeah.
I knew him, but like
Bahamas.
that place, and then Bahamas. I think it's cool to go to those setups. I've taught in the top of a mountain in Tamarindo. It's not like a mountain; it's more like a thing in the top. But the last one that was pretty interesting. I guess, like I said, I've taught in Greece. I taught like in a boat, in a cruise ships. I taught in a place that I got in France. I got there, and the guy, and it was the same. There was like 30 people, like 20 years ago, and the guy and I'm like, "Where are the mats?" And the guy, "What mats?" I'm like, "We need mats." So that was interesting. So we had actually 2 of those old school like canvas, like made of like the vegetation thing.
Yeah.
And Saul and I would be in one mat. We would teach the thing, and I would stand in one mat, 6x3, and he'll be in another one. We do the technique one person, and then you do like three reps, move around other person. We had to do that. So anyway, last month or this month, or in March, right? I'm already losing.
Yeah,
Still in March.
I had the great pleasure to teach in a festival in Uvita, Costa Rica. It's called Envision
that's right.
Festival.
Oh, nice.
I was going to ask you about that. I completely forgot about that.
You should have gone, buddy.
I'll go next year.
That was super interesting because it's something that I was actually very nervous because nobody knows about Jiu-Jitsu. They're all there, dancing and doing whatnot.
Like a music festival?
It's a music festival. It's a music like yoga movement, more like kind of like whatever you do, what you do.
I should have gone to it.
Sounds right up your alley.
Yeah, Zach says I
He was
do.
texting me. He's like, you should be here, bro.
Yeah, Zach goes, I do what I do.
It's about 8,000 people total.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Super nice. Like regardless of beautiful people in little clothes, but a lot of families, a lot of older crew. The music was amazing. The seminars, the yoga, everything was amazing. And then and then it's funny because they got me Saturday night and Sunday morning. I'm like, okay, first of all, it's the last Saturday. Everyone's going to be tired. And then it's Sunday morning, which everyone's going to be,
Really tired.
Really tired.
Yeah.
So, and I've never been a festival either. So now I'm like, in my first festival, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not prepared because apparently you have to wear costumes and I don't have
You
costumes.
should just wore your gi.
Yeah, maybe it's so hot.
It's in Costa Rica, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Costa Rica.
So, and then the first night, and I go, okay, where am I teaching? I say, and I saw the place I was going to teach one day. They had like little mats, right? Okay, that's good. I say, oh, let me see. I say, it's a wooden floor. What am I going to do? So like, that was very, very interesting. And then I go in, it's like 7 at night, everything's dark. And there's people, I'm like feeling like, oh shit, what am I gonna? And then I put a microphone. Shit, now I got to talk on a microphone. And there was no lights really, so it's kind of like, dark because it was like more like a DJ setup. The next day I was dancing there for hours. And that was pretty cool. Like everybody was super excited. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the first one more like restraining.
Yeah.
Like, hugging and wrist lock and things like this.
Hell yeah, wrist locks.
Like, like if someone holds you, how to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, and then Sunday I can do more grappling. So that's what I did. I did one day was like Jiu-Jitsu self-defense. That was written there. And then the other one was like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappling.
Yeah.
So that was two different things. And that being amazing, I loved it. Everyone was super into it. And I was very concerned about using words like raping or things like this, right? Because like, let's imagine someone is under something. And now they're like crying because I create. So, but I had so much fun. There was
Triggering.
trigger stuff. I was very concerned about that. Like I'm not gonna lie, people are doing on the mushrooms, they're doing whatever. They do the whole day. They're like, oh my god, life is beautiful. And like this guy talking about me.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So that was super
Yeah, we
nice.
go next year.
Yeah, people are super interested on it, and then I was very like, okay, we're in a festival. And I always try to make like a story, right? Like, hey, you guys in a festival. I know you're here, but there's always something to happen.
Yeah.
And that was fun. There was like 10 kids. I play a lot with the kids, which then, creates more of that fun environment and things like this. And then that was fun. It was like an hour and 15 minutes, whatnot. And then people were like super excited. I said, okay, tomorrow, make sure you wear, yoga shorts or something. Yeah. And then next day, people just walked in. Like there's no, and for me that I'm very formal. Yeah. Now I have, there's guys on sungas, in Speedos, there's girls in bikinis.
Hell yeah.
I was
No
like,
gi. That's
well, that's like Brazilian back in the day, basically,
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, everyone was super respectful. It was super fun. Like I know the girls are having fun. The older ladies are having fun. And a lot of people messaged me saying, "Oh, I went back home and I joined a jiu-jitsu
That's
school."
awesome.
Wow,
That's
that's
cool.
super cool.
So I think for me, I think I'm the kind of character that I'm very chameleon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can adapt to all kinds. I taught in favelas. I taught to the sheikh, and I taught in festivals.
Yeah.
So,
That's another one that just put it in the bag. Like, I don't know how many people have taught jiu-jitsu at a festival.
yeah, you know what I mean.
That guy has.
And,
Or the chic.
yeah, that's true.
And I think next year, if I get invited again, and then I want to go earlier to actually enjoy the festival. I want to do the classes. I want to do the yoga. I want to meet the actual artist community. The music is amazing. Next year, let's go, guys. Envision Festival.
Why?
We're going to do a Fighter Stance podcast right after you teach.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
We'll bring the light.
We'll make it happen.
Well, actually, another place that I'm working on, there's a place in also Costa Rica that I got to visit. It's called Rhythmia. So Rhythmia is a ayahuasca retreat. And the place where they do the ceremonies is a matted area. And I asked the guy, I said, can I bring some people in and do like a jiu-jitsu healing journey? You know what I mean? Like that was amazing. We could talk. I could talk 10 hours about it. It was very special for me. I was able to really tap in a lot of things. But yeah, a lot of people say, hey, I would go. I say, but jiu-jitsu is just skills. You're there to work something in yourself.
So they're doing a lot of that, like the guided stuff with like veterans right now. They're doing a lot of different studies with it. So yeah, and then jujitsu is good.
Yeah, Mike O'Reilly came with me. It was supposed to be me, Mike, John, and another colonel, but the colonel had an operation, couldn't go. John didn't go, so it ended up just being me and Mike.
That's cool. Yeah. It's awesome.
So those are my experiences.
Yeah.
Why do you think they invite why they invite a jiu-jitsu person to this like festival, and how do you think they found you?
Through Budokan. Budokan Mobility, my yoga teacher, Cameron Shane and Elaine Shane.
Okay.
So they teach Budokan. They do mobility. They do yoga there. It's a beautiful practice. I do a lot. I practice a lot. It really helped a lot of my jiu-jitsu because I found out that my jiu-jitsu is very much based on the way you move and how you move, and also how you structure your body. And Cameron is a genius. He knows how the body moves, the patterns of movements, where the structure of the moves are there. So I've been trained with him. He's my black belt for like the past 4 or 5 years. It has changed my ability to stay mobile. Like
that's awesome.
Like to the next level. Him and his wife are so smart. So they did that, and he saw that there was mats there. So maybe we can bring Xande in, and Xande will be perfect because
cool.
He's a guy that can talk to different. I have no problem talk to any type of people. It doesn't matter.
The chameleon thing.
I think it's especially jiu-jitsu because jiu-jitsu is so inclusive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think I'm more. My goal is jiu-jitsu. I'm more ambassador. Of course, I have my brand. I have my team, but for me, I've taught in numerous jiu-jitsu schools. I've been invited to hey, it's my it's the celebration of my school. So anyway, and then they came to the lady. I said, hey, I have a perfect guy that can bring. He can teach self-defense. Grappling is growing. Yeah, has everything to do with it. Especially, I approach in a very spiritual way. As I explained today. About the chaotic, the position, the energy. So and also I've done yoga for many years, and that's me. Right? Yeah. So I think it worked. So
it's like perfect intersection.
Yeah. So they pitched in, and then I was actually more of an investment on my side because they spend so much money, and they say, hey, we can't pay you what you do. I said, let's do this. I think it's something that's very different, and I love different. I love just exploring this weird, different society. To try to figure out how jiu-jitsu can help people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? In the end, like I said, I got a lot of messages from people that, hey, I signed up my kid in jiu-jitsu. Like this older lady, I think jiu-jitsu for me. I said, well, send me the so I like to answer people in that matter, you know what I mean? To make sure they find a school that'll not give them a bad. Next thing I know, Xande said amazing. This guy was an asshole to me. So I try to go collaborate. Help them, That's so like awesome. I said, I got a lot of messages for people that came back home, joined jiu-jitsu. There was this one family that the girls, there was a mom and 2 girls. All the 2 girls joined jiu-jitsu. That's cool. So for me, like I said, if I can go to a place like this and I can make business to people, I think that's my goal.
It also makes sense too, right? For someone, you were just kind of explaining, you've kind of done everything. This is a fun, different experience for you to have. So why not?
When you've done so much, I think that does that pique your interest big time when it's something new you haven't done before, because then you're just adding to that, and again you're growing jiu-jitsu. So if let's just say you gave a story of 5 people, which I'm sure there was more than that, who now do the art that you love, so you're spreading it, and those people, if they go back and they continue training, they're going to remember how they started doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, like I said, for me, I like to experiment things. That's why I like with jiu-jitsu, right? I'm not a person that comes to a room and I'm just gonna do what I know. Yeah. Oh, you taught me something today. For example, if I would be in a seminar, I say, okay, Xande taught me this way to get cycle control. Guess what? I'm gonna let it by cycle control me. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. Even the cruise, the Grapples Escape, which is coming up in June. It's super fun. 7 days. It's me, Braulio, Cesare Matuda, and Bruno Malfacini for 7 days. That one, my friend, you're gonna miss it.
Might go to that one.
Zach's still some time maybe to sign up.
It's still time to go. So basically, the way it worked was I know I'm Xande, whatnot, right? But as far as putting a value to it, right? Okay, I'll go to you if you pay me $10,000, right? There's this way, right? But like I said, if something that I believe if I invest my time will bring something good for jiu-jitsu, and of course the money will come with it. Because for me, money comes with purpose. If you put money before the purpose, it doesn't last long, and that money is not worth it. So basically, I had these two guys come in, like a lady and a guy, and I looked at them. I'd say, these people are not from jiu-jitsu. I can see the way she's dressed, the way she's kind of weird. And then he looked at me, the guy like, say, you're Xande, right? I'm like, yeah. So this is my friend. I'm like, of course I don't know who the friend they're talking about. They said I should talk to you first. I was like, okay, what are you talking about? So, well, we're doing this, we're doing that. So we're gonna do a jiu-jitsu cruise. I'm like, what do you mean jiu-jitsu cruise? Oh, we're Caribbean. We're gonna do this. I say, look, here's my number. When this is ready, you call me, and I'm going. Do you want to know how much it is? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's crazy. I love crazy. And it's been 9 years.
I love crazy.
We've been doing it for 9 years.
Oh wow.
Well, do they like, because I've never seen it, but do they close off like part of the boats for you guys to do jiu-jitsu?
No.
Is it
well different than, like, for example, we did Princess, right? So Princess actually came with us. So they just going to sell the cabins. Right? So basically, Princess hired us. Grapples Escape is our company that they reserve. Okay, I say you have 7 months, whatever, to sell 100 cabins.
Yeah.
So they reserve a number of cabins for us, and then after that they close it. We close it because we don't go like, oh, last minute I got a person. We don't do that.
Yeah.
So I think there's another maybe a week or two until we close it because it's in June. It's coming from Galveston, so it's just a little ride for there. So you don't have to pay the hotel and the airfare, the flight.
Zach's, you're convincing him right now. He's like, ooh, maybe I should.
He's told me about this for a while too.
So do you want to get some extra energy without everything you're going to find in some energy drinks? Get some Go Pills. Go Pills are all natural, made in the USA, no gelatin, plant-based. Try some Go Pills today.
Because, for example, the Fuji one was more like judo, jiu-jitsu, a lot of mixed things. This one is you wake up. So basically like this. It's 6 days, 7 nights, whatnot. So anyway, in January is, my daughter always goes. She has so much fun there. So basically wake up, 2 hours of jiu-jitsu, breakfast, and then we do, if we're in an island, we do excursion as a team. Nice. So everything is together.
Oh,
we do
cool.
everything together.
It's June 16th to June 23rd.
Yeah. And then basically when we don't do excursions, we just stay drinking in the pool.
Nice.
And then the cool thing is that every day there's something different. We do like a quiz, like a quest.
That's cool.
Last year we won the quest. The quest is hilarious. It's PG. You can't be underage, so you have to be 18 because people flash their tits. It's crazy. It's like how do you call okay, they go like, bring from your team 2 red bras, and then they come in like that's this whole thing. That's this one like
scavenger hunt.
That was one like you have to get like 2 bottom shorts. I took my shirt off and I threw my shirt off, and then they go like, all right, now we're not gonna give you a shirt back. And then the last one, the guy had to dress like a girl. So all the girls are taking their stuff off, and it's just hilarious. So we won that one. We won the sexiest man in the world contest. Like one of our guys is dancing and do like a stripper thing, and we won the belly flop contest.
I don't know if that's the one you want to win.
Who wants to win that?
You don't really win.
Dre, he's like 330 pounds. It's hilarious. And that the music's like, dude. I'm like, by the 4th day, I'm like, can we not do that? It's our anthem. So one day we have a Latin night, and then we have and then the boat has like a social night. We all dress up.
The captain's dinner.
So it's like I said, it's a whole week of this, and it's fun because everyone loves each one. And then last night, there's always the whole thing, and like this. We go until 3 a.m. We literally party every day. We together all the time. Yeah. And that's the fun thing about it.
That's pretty cool.
We have a family that goes literally the kid now can come to the club with us. And he was a teenager, maybe 3 years she can go now, 4 years. That's what the beautiful thing, because it's a community.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. What time do you start jiu-jitsu in the morning if you're out till 3?
Yeah.
I can't do that shit no more.
I do it all. In the first day.
Xande's a machine.
Yeah, I can't do that, bro.
All night.
Listen, if I drink
first thing in the morning, he's ready for a seminar, upbeat, just like he is all the time.
Listen,
I don't know how he does it.
I can't do that. If I drink hard, let's say I went out tonight and I drank hard, I'm down until Wednesday.
But sometimes the problem is not the drink, is because, for example, like there was one day in Playa del Carmen when we couldn't go on the boat. We did Cancun. We made a point. We all going to each other's seminars regardless.
Yeah.
So I did all the seminars, and I like doing the same. Sometimes I go for like 30 minutes. If I'm like, okay, I'm a little off, and I go back, take a nap, and I go. But the problem is not like doing that. The problem is doing that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean?
So hard.
And day drinking, or sometimes you go like snorkel. Like now you're the whole day in the ocean, and then you go back,
That's so
and then you do a
tiring.
seminar, and we do dinner together, and then, like I said, it's super fun. And the main,
Sounds
the
super
best
fun.
thing about it is the community. Like when we go, like, all right, guys, we're gonna leave a list here. Whoever signs up now get a discount, and it literally is sold out right there.
So is it all gi or mixed?
No,
gi, no gi?
we mixed. Yeah, we make gi, no gi, and the difference between the cruise, the Princess, for example, the mat is 24 hours.
Oh, nice.
Well, and we do have nights that people just go crazy and then let's go grapple 3 in the morning.
Jujitsu.
That's always safe.
And as you know, there's like tits out again. I'm like, oh, stop it. That's when I come in. And I usually go like this, guys.
when I cut it
You know
off.
what I mean?
All right, you're too drunk.
And usually, the only thing I say is like, hey, you know, if you're intoxicated, don't come on the mat.
Yeah.
You know, you wanna sit down, you know, with the drink outside of the mat. Great, just don't be obnoxious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like one time, and when people start to become too much of your friend, they think they can come. Like one time, this guy was with the key with the drink. I'm like, no, you out. Oh, no, you out. You're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I told you not to do it. And like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he came out and then he put perfume. Like, all right, but
Yeah. That's like, again, like I feel like today, like you demonstrated a move. Like, so we have someone who works here named Matt Smith, who's like, if he has a gun, scariest guy in the world. You were on top of me, and I was like, I hate this. Where you're just showing something, and I'm terrified. Like you without a gun, Matt Smith with a gun, just terrifying.
No, that was awesome. It was like you were so good and you're so technical. Like you're just like Pat, who's really good. You're just like, no, you're not doing this right.
Yeah,
Like,
and
come on, why are you not listening to me?
I'm like, I felt like I was whenever John Danaher went on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he was asking Joe Rogan questions, and Joe Rogan would say something, and he's like, God damn it, you don't know this.
You do not know enough about this topic.
Yeah.
but I get it. You know what I mean? When you have a bald, good-looking guy on top of you.
Yeah, or or a fucking legend.
Well, the thing is like like this, because I'm asking something very specific that maybe is alien to you.
So
right?
100. What it is I'm starstruck. I don't get starstruck easy.
okay.
Everybody comes in here.
Aw.
Like if we had like any professional athlete, like I wouldn't care. I don't give it. But like people that I grew up watching do jujitsu, again, like this is the thing that I did since. Like I joined the army.
He just said he grew up.
Yeah, right. But I started doing this.
You guys are 2 years apart.
Yeah, I know, but like he was already doing it, and he was already like a black belt when I started doing it. So I looked up to like again you, Ricardo Arona, like Adolfo Vieira, like my guard passing. Like I try to emulate Adolfo's. Like
for me, is the best ever.
I'm a GF team black belt because of him.
Oh, yeah.
Like I grew up. I wanted. That's what I was like. That grew up, but I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, Adolfo's the guy.
Oh, he's
and
so
then,
sweet.
Yeah, and then you're like again. They like whenever you did that, they still can't pass my guard. I was like, he's right. No, I don't think what's never been passed in competition.
Do you know that I guillotined Braulio and Rodolfo at the same time?
At the same time?
At the same time. Abu Dhabi. That's a funny story.
Let's hear that.
Did there?
You don't say picture didn't happen.
So
see it.
okay, that's Braulio, that's Rodolfo, and that's me right there. Can you hear it? That's Rodolfo. That's Braulio. He tried to footlock me. Didn't work. I pushed Braulio. That's Megaton as a referee. Aqui, guilhotina, pá, pass it over, pá, that's Bochecha laughing. And then Lucas Lepre, pá, o Sotogari, see? I double guillotine Braulio and Rodolfo as Megaton as a referee, and I was Sotogari, Lucas Lepre.
This never. So that will never happen again in the world.
Also, send Zach that video. We'll add it to the
have to add
podcast.
it.
Yeah.
Put it in.
Yeah, that what just happened right there.
I think
He
naturally-
literally, he just showed like everyone in that video was a world champion. Every one of them.
He's beat up two of them at once.
Yeah. A couple of them fought in the UFC. Buchecha's killing it, and like, no big deal. I just double guillotine fucking legends. Jesus Christ! I thought you were gonna show me a picture of you doing it. No, I just saw a video of it happening. And you see Buchecha. Yeah, you see Buchecha in the back with his arms like this, just laughing his ass off.
That's how we do, man. And the thing about jiu-jitsu is this, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I see like this whole like, I'm promoting this and that, man, these people are gonna end up alone. You know, like I said, I can go to a tournament and hang with Buchecha, hang with those guys, and we laughing and we, you know what I mean? It's just beautiful. I think this is fucking amazing. I love it. This day was funny because we came back from a club which I organized.
Imagine that.
And, we were hanging out, and we're in a hotel that's just fighters. It's just us because of the Abu Dhabi, the AJP. And the manager came in like, and I'm like, bro, here's the deal. Call your boss. Tell your boss to come here and tell us to leave.
Who the fuck's gonna do that?
Well, but he didn't know.
He didn't know they were, obviously.
Well, he didn't know because it's his job. He's in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but also
Like,
if you looked, everybody in that picture's jacked, cauliflower ear. Buchecha's there. He's like
but
6'7".
I think he's more scared about his job, his boss, right?
Yeah.
And then it's so funny. And then of course, right when I did that, there was people with phones that say, okay, no phones. Everybody gets shut. You know, a lot of blue belts. I say, get the phones off. You know, I erase a bunch of stuff. The only phone allowed is my phone.
Imagine that. And if you want the pictures, you gotta pay for them.
And the funny thing is that was the day before everybody was going to fly out.
Yeah.
So the guy comes back, hey, excuse me, sir. I'm like, yeah. I say, just watch out the furniture. And you guys have fun. And then we're there for hours, and of course there's no drinking, but we're all like under the influence and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we all like, all right, everybody, let's go to coffee. We had all breakfast together. Now you're going through the whole night. Like, all right, guys, we all have to be on the plane in like 3 hours. Make sure
You're all on the same plane too.
Yeah, and then and then we all like knock each other's door to make sure like people actually slapped and lost it. And the funniest thing is like we all on the line for the airlines, and everybody's like this, like not a word.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, we're like grappling a minute before, like don't talk to me. It's hilarious. Like I said, I love this, man. I love this.
I just saw that video, and everyone in that video is a
You're still
legend.
shocked.
Yeah, I mean, Megaton like was reffing it. Like who? Megaton's he's never reffed anything, but he reffed you like, choking like Adolfo.
And Braulio.
Yeah, and
Braulio.
Braulio. Yeah,
Don't forget.
yeah. That's crazy.
And also Togari does that break.
That's true. You got that right there at the end.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like again, like people would pay just to be in that room, like legends.
Yeah, people like the thing into jiu-jitsu, I think people don't understand the value of it. You know what I mean? It's weird for me because like I'm a fan. Like literally, I work with boys. Like, you know, even though like I'm older than everyone and I basically fought everyone, but like I just love watching them grow. I love watching them make money. I love watching them, you know, being cool on Instagram. You know what I mean? I don't know. Imagine if I would be a blue belt. I'll be like, wow. You know what I mean?
I mean, you look like Buchecha again, killing it. And what's that? We have ONE FC, and then Adolfo's killing it in the UFC. Like all these guys, like again that you double guillotine choked.
Don't even understand how that works.
Yeah, I don't. I saw the video and I still just like.
It's still confusing.
Yeah. You got two arms. They got one neck, bro. Make it happen.
All you need.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
My bad. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Can't even guillotine someone normally.
Hey, so do you have anything coming up? You going to be doing like a podcast, or you got anything like?
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
My next thing, I'm flying actually Tuesday for Braulio's wedding in Portugal, and then from there I'm going to do a instructor's course in Europe. You know, I'm focused a lot in Europe this year. After that, I come back, go to Brazil to coach for the Brasileiros. And then after that, I have a retreat in Montesino County, which is already booked. And then Worlds, and then Grapples Escape. I go back to Brazil for my brother's 50th birthday. Then after that, this ADCC camp. And then I'm doing the, I'm going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. So Thursday night party. Not Friday because I have to coach. So the induction is on Friday, but I'm going to have a party, like a club on Thursday.
Wow.
And then Saturday or Sunday, of course, just focus on the guys. Then after that, I have the Champ Camp in Montana. It's a week of mobility jiu-jitsu. If you guys are interested in that too.
That's the Budokan.
Budokan. Yeah. So we go, stay the whole week, just morning, mobility, jiu-jitsu, food. So basically you go in, there's all the food already, everything's there. Of course, if you want a snack, you can bring it, but we basically just spend the whole day moving, stretching, talking. We do mind science. We sit down, basically talk about subject.
Where's that?
It's in Montana, Whitefish,
nice.
Montana. So we still have a couple spots going on. Then after that, and then after that is Master Worlds. And then after Master Worlds, I'm kind of chilling. I'm going to Turks and Caicos, Destination Jiu-Jitsu. I'm not doing it. It's Lovato's camp, but I'm going to be a guest for like 2 days. So if you guys want to join that, use code Xande200 for $200 off. Yes, $200. And then I'm going to do yoga BJJ fast in Mallorca in October. So that's my schedule.
There's like 35
And then-
things in
Yeah.
October.
Nogi Worlds is in what, December?
December, yeah. I'm not sure because I'm gonna go to my dad's birthday, so
nice.
I probably won't do that. But what I guess what you're saying, I'm gonna start a podcast soon. A lot of people are talking about having me speaking and kind of talking about jiu-jitsu. I think it's about time for me to do something like that. It's gonna be called Coffee with Xande. I'm gonna be basically serving you guys coffee and having a conversation.
It's like serving tea, but coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Like I said, I love coffee. I actually got a new passion for coffee. I don't put sugar in my coffee. One of my guys, Sebastian from Panama Coffee Club, he basically, when I drink the coffee, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I love it. There's actually a place here in Austin you guys should actually go try. It's called Proud Mary. It's on South Lamar. It's amazing. I just got there. I'm saying because they gifted me a bag of coffee. So
I saw that. on
It's
Instagram before.
the breakfast is amazing. It's specialty coffee. So
Yeah.
it's literally you're paying a good amount of money for coffee if that's something that you like. So that's one of the things that I wanted to do. Maybe if you guys can teach me a little bit, I'd love to. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a home office. But yeah, a couple of things I think is important for me at this phase of my life. Kind of like, I think reach out in a different way. I think Instagram, sometimes you put a cool picture with a sad story. People say, oh my God, this picture is beautiful. I'm like, oh yeah, but it's a sad story. I think, YouTube, it's great. Just be able to speak and talk about jiu-jitsu,
That's awesome.
talk about experiences. I think I'm in a position, a very good position because I have seen everything about jiu-jitsu. I started jiu-jitsu in 1991 in a time that using a jiu-jitsu shirt was a problem. You know what I mean? Because luta livre in jiu-jitsu, like literally, your teacher would not give you a jiu-jitsu shirt because if a luta livre guy saw you, they'd be like, oh, so you think jiu-jitsu is better than me? And I'm talking about 12. I'm a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And my buddies are 13, 12-year-old kids being jumped on the street and coming back, with blood to their houses. So we're fighting for our lives, and guard passing was 2 points, by the way. Reaping was allowed. The gis were gray, not all this not beige, not this whole thing. The mats are canvas. There's no women in sport. Everything we did was to fight, to survive from fighting. There's no money involved. Everything was so raw. And then we went to like tournaments and then into America. And now it's American Jiu-Jitsu. Now it's no gi. Now it's all this stuff. So I think the world kind of need a little bit of the history idea. And I think it's about time to just try to reach a greater public through this. And thank you guys for inviting me. That's amazing to be able to come and talk and have fun. Like I said, I have no filter. I always tell people that of course if something that will be a little I don't like to get into drama, but I always feel that if I have to walk in a room and put a mask to act like someone that I'm not, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I should be able to, of course, if there's a kid in the room or things like this, we need to kind of stay more on that level. But I think I am this, I'm always that. You guys saw today, I like having fun doing jiu-jitsu. I require some sort of organization, respect within the mat, but it's not like I'm the champion, I demand this. No, I think respect is a two-way word.
But you also you've earned it though, right? Like 100%. Like again, you're a legend, and not only that, but you're a legend who came and taught, like for Heroes Jiu-Jitsu Day, veterans, first responders, law enforcement officers. for free. You just showed up and you taught like beautiful jujitsu. So like again, that's just more like respect that you've earned, because that we really appreciate that. Like when we started doing this, like that, like we were like, well, we'll see if we can get some people in here to teach. And like Tim was like, get Xande.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, it's a collaboration. Like I said, this is a Gracie Humaita school, which my lineage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if Paulo is happy and Tim is happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, the competition is not jiu-jitsu schools. For me, the competition is the iPad, is the ADHD, is the parents that don't live a health life.
Yeah.
For me, that's our competition. The competition is, not saying anything, is karate schools, taekwondo schools that happen to do better business than us many times. But I think that's the competition. It's the kid that's on the couch, the kid that's being bullied, that doesn't want to tell the mom, or maybe the mom and dad that doesn't want to do it. You know what I mean? That's our competition. It's not us. You know what I mean? You could have when I was in San Diego, we had the arena with Beret, and then we had our school door to door, literally like 50 meters apart from each other, and both schools were busy. As one school, of course, was almost half price. The other school is our school. Some people are like, hey, I want to go here. Some people, hey, I want to go there. It's just how it is. So as long as there is people in jiu-jitsu, we are all winning. And I think that's the mentality, that the abundance mentality, not scarcity. You know what I mean? Like there's no scarcity. The only scarcity is the mindset. So if we're all winning, we're all winning.
We're cutting that into a reel. We will send that to you. You can post it on your Instagram or whatever. That's deep.
Beautiful.
Like our competition is like the couch and the iPad and ADHD and all that. Like that's like so true. And you see it, especially now, like you see kids walking down the street and you're like, oh my God, like, bro, you're like 50 pounds overweight at 6. We got like, we got to get you into a gym.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yako Khalili with Sheepdog Response. If you're like me, you train with some absolute savages, and you're going to need something that's going to protect your boys down there, your family jewels, and nobody does it better than Diamond MMA. They have compression shorts, they got jock straps, but best of all, they have the best technology when it comes to protection. There's nothing better you can do than protect the boys down there. No one does it better than Diamond MMA.
And I even posted something the other day. They talk about the average American has no friends. Join a jiu-jitsu school.
Yeah, you want a cheat code to make friends? Just go to jiu-jitsu.
All my I don't have any friends that don't do jiu-jitsu. Every one of my friends.
Do you have like a non-jiu-jitsu friend? Oh, this is my non-jiu-jitsu friend. Like it doesn't.
It's weird. If you have and you try to, like, if you do, that guy that non-jiu-jitsu friend becomes a jiu-jitsu friend because they're like, I don't like being on the outside of the circle.
Or literally, you guys just aren't friends anymore because all you do is talk about jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't get this. I'm like, well, it's fine.
But look at today, for example. Look what I just said, right? I was in Europe doing Europeans, and then I went to Dubai, whatever. There's like ADCC, and then I go to Panama to do a surf and jiu-jitsu.
That's awesome.
So you can do jiu-jitsu and go surf with your friends. You can do jiu-jitsu and go skate with your friends. You can do jiu-jitsu and go with in a cruise. You can do jiu-jitsu and go in a festival. You can do jiu-jitsu and go to the beach. You can do anything with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lifestyle. So, and like not just the idea of bullying or empowerment and enablement and stuff like this. It's just build a community, like just watching the girls feeling safe around men. I think also this is a big thing with the whole abuse and things like this and traumas. You see how much in the society there's so much trauma going on, and I think jiu-jitsu will bring that safety and the feeling of embracement. Some woman coming here, they can barely be touched because they had those traumas. Next thing I know, they're like, can't get away from you. You know what I mean? That's the cool thing about it is just watching, which of course I can say because I've had, clients and students that came here, this happened to me. And you could go like, hey, how are you? They'd be like that. Next thing I know, they looked at you, they had locked you, you know what I mean? And you see the growth,
Well, it's sometimes the hardest part about jiu-jitsu is that 6 inches it takes you from like stepping onto the mat.
Yeah.
Right. Like that for a lot of people, again, especially if they have trauma, that's one of the biggest things is just getting them on the mat. As soon as they get on the mat and they start learning some stuff and they lean into that trauma, like that really affects them. Like you see it a lot of time with like veterans too, who are having problems with like PTSD and stuff like that. It's very difficult to get in the gym, but as soon as they're in there, it's very familiar to them because like, again, like the group, like the people we had today, or just my normal, like Nick, Zach come out. They're like I feel like I'm back doing like the army thing. I can just have hand tattoos and a beard.
I think we see that a lot too with like the sheepdog classes. Like we have the women's only like sheepdog classes, and a lot of people come, and that's the same feeling they have. They're like, I didn't feel like I could do it, and now that I'm here, like now it's so easy. We have a women's only jiu-jitsu class. It's just so amazing.
Yeah. You know, did you when you did jiu-jitsu, you know, like did you feel that you had some sort of emotional breakthroughs, like when someone was on top of you and the only thing you brought that fight and flight a little too hard on it?
No. So for me,
were you okay with that?
So for me, my story is different than a lot of veterans who start jujitsu.
Okay.
Because I wrestled my whole life.
Okay.
So like so like that. Yeah, they do that every podcast. So I had that like I already kind of had that feel, like I've already been there, right? So it wasn't like for me, for the transition from wrestling to jiu-jitsu was easy for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have that like because like the combat stuff or anything like that. But I do know that if I would have, a lot of people, if like they've never done anything before and they have that trauma, especially from the army, and then they go to the gym and start training, like there is some of that.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't though, just because of my wrestling background.
Yeah, I just feel that like some of the guys they take that like the little extra elbow.
Yes.
I mean but they're like, it's interesting because they're the sweetest people outside.
Yeah.
And once they get in, they're like, why are they doing this? You know what I mean? Like, everything's so rough.
Also too, like a lot of guys in the army are like military, like they look at like, especially guys who are like combat dudes, they look at it a little bit different, right? Like they're not going in there to like flow because they don't have a flow. You have to teach them the flow.
Yeah.
And then whenever you teach them the flow, things change. And you also have to tell them like, hey, like if you go that hard for the entire 5 minutes, I'm going to choke you 30 times in the last 2.5 minutes because you're going to, like, you have to know when to send it and when not to send it. Yeah. And if you're always sending it, you're going to be exhausted and I'm going to drown you.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that, because I taught on post for a long time. Like I would teach evening classes. I had like 40 dudes in the evening class and you see it all the time. They come in with a little bit of attitude, chip on their shoulder. Like they're like badass and you're like, this is not like I'm going to have that fucking 120-pound purple belt female just wreck your world. And like you'll see it all the time. They'll come in and they'll be like, go with her, and they'll be like, I'm not going with her. And I'm like,
yes, you are.
Yeah, you're gonna go with her, and she's gonna beat the brakes off of you. And then she like looks at you and she smiles, and I'm like, send it. And she's like, okay. And then she just wrecks this dude. He's like, oh no, I am not as tough as I thought I am.
Yeah. I guess the beauty of it too is seeing how a small person can just beat the fuck out of you.
You bitch!
I think that's why he said it.
Yeah.
He's like, I beat Pat up all the time.
Yeah, the first time
he started talking about Mighty Mouse. Yeah. 207-pound guy.
The first time we trained together, I pulled guard. And like he was like, I didn't expect that. And then I swept him, and then he started working those little tiny feet in, and I was like, you got Mikey Musumeci feet, bro.
He's just all over the place. He's flying around like a little monkey. So fast.
What I was getting at was that when a small person can just beat the fuck out of you, it just shows that jiu-jitsu really works. Yeah. And it shows these guys who come in thinking they know everything.
Yeah. Well,
what jiu-jitsu can do for them.
But and if you look though, like the early like UFCs, like that, like anytime someone's like, what do you think about this or this or this? I'm like, watch UFC 1. Yeah. Watch UFC 2. Right? Like if you look at Hoist, like his striking was not good, but his jiu-jitsu was amazing and flawless.
You'd be nice.
Yeah.
It was non-existent.
I mean, he had that front kick. People still throw that front kick now. Yeah.
I think also it just like goes, it's the opposite of what someone would normally think, right? Like people think it's like that meme, right? Like where you see it's like the scariest guy at your gym and it's like this like super jacked dude and he's all like tatted up, right? And then it's like the scariest guy at like your jiu-jitsu school and it's like Mikey Musumeci. Like people don't understand that like size has nothing to do with it. And sometimes the bigger you are, the actually worse it is. Like we were rolling with Cage. Did you have to roll with him? To make you roll with him?
I heard the name, but I didn't catch
I rolled with him.
Yeah. But like he's like this big like jacked guy. He shoots like media for us. And like today was his first day, but Tim like pulled him out here and I got him like 10 times. He's just like dying and I like felt bad. Tim's like, attack. I'm like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
You know who got like, so you talk about the story about how Lovato got like between you and your brother, like and then the air died. Like Shane Steiner,
Yeah.
Tim's friend, like he got it not as bad as that, right? Like, but he got it bad. Tim would used to like pay brown belts. Hey, if you can go submit that guy, I'll give you money. to attack Shane when he was like a blue belt. Yeah.
We got to do a little when Shane got his black belt. We got to shark bait.
That was
Yeah, I heard about that, and I wish I
you
would
weren't
have
here
been
yet.
here.
were you?
Yeah.
We're here for him.
Yeah. Dude, I think it was you. I think Colton Smith was here. Like,
That was a bunch of people.
There was
Victor
there
was
was
here.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people came in for that.
Like a lot of the instructors were here, and then a lot of like the local people were here. And honestly, that was my favorite. One of my favorite stories about you, like, because like you showed up and you're like, everyone's like introducing themselves as like black belts. And you're like, hi, I'm Sanji from Austin, and Tim's just like flabbergasted. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, and then like goes into like who you are.
Yeah.
And then even after, like, I saw you in the locker room and like someone was like, oh, like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't realize who you were. And you're like, no, like my time's over, like it's fine, like it's the time of like the Gordons and stuff now, like I'm done.
I'm a terrible marketer.
Or maybe the best marketer. You're so humble.
Yeah. So I think, and also that's one of those things too about jujitsu is like there's like one or two sides. There's the humble people, and then there's the not humble people. And like the people that are not humble, like of course they're blowing up the Instagram, but like the non-humble people, like again, like we're talking about it now because today you taught jujitsu to like 65 people. So like, and all those people that I heard was like, that was awesome.
It was my favorite class I think I've ever had.
I don't think the not humble people is a problem. I think the one that act like humble, they're not. For me, the snakes are the worst.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just doing this. For
Yeah.
them. I wonder what else would do.
Yeah, 100%.
You were a good marketer though. You did plug you're like, yeah, go check out my videos.
Check my videos. You know, the vortex.
The Vortex.
Yeah.
Out now, BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah, where can you get those videos at? Yeah.
BJ Fanatics. If you go on my Instagram, follow me, Xande Ribeiro. I have all there. So BJ Fanatics. I have a really cool one. If you go to Budokan online, I do have one that I show the mobility and I show the Jujitsu.
Oh, that's awesome.
So where the mobility or the movement, okay, or at least the pattern of movement, let's put it this way, matches in my game. So basically, all my guard, I show everything that I do from my guard, and I show the how I move, and then I show the mobility move.
Oh, that's cool.
For relate to that, and then it's called the flow pressure finish, and then pressure is basically crawling patterns. You know, like the gorillas and things, and I say, okay, my gorilla stance works because of this, and then I show a gorilla, I show the Komodo dragons and the panther, the lions, and things like this, and I show my passing system.
That's cool.
And then the finish is just a bunch of submissions, and there is nothing specific about it, but just like, okay, because I'm open my hips this way, when I do this, allow me to move my body more this way. So it becomes more of like a science class. So that's pretty cool. Go to Budokan, BUDOKON.com, and then we have that. It's called the Xande Blueprint. That's a pretty cool one.
Awesome.
I
might have to go check that out. Honestly, I like, not to fanboy like Pat was before, like I really loved today's class, like how you broke everything down, like, even from like when we were doing the warm-ups and then how that transitioned into like just like the side control escape. It was like that changed everything. I
had a whole thing to show, and then team like, hey, you have it until 1 o'clock. I'm like, fuck, I'm already like 10 minutes late. It's not 1 o'clock.
Also, I don't know who's made those rules.
So
he just wanted to roll.
Yeah. So listen. Yeah. So Tim does it every class. Like Tim will come in and he'll be like, hey, tell him to wrap it up. And I'm like, I'm not telling that to Xande.
No, Tim, the thing about Tim, man, I love him. Like I said, when I moved to Austin, they all got me and they all embraced me. We train. I say, Tim, I need you here at 9 o'clock. You'll be there at 8:59 ready. Yeah. And actually, he'll be there after like a hour and a half brutal, which is interesting. One day, I told Shane, I say, Shane, let's do this. Tomorrow, you're not gonna work out. You're gonna come just for jiu-jitsu. And he sucked.
Really?
I'm like, you know what? Go do your CrossFit. Go do your workout with Tim, and because then he's like jacked, he's excited, and he trains much better because
that's so interesting.
He comes to my noon class every day, and he's like, he'll come in, then he'll work out with Tim, and then he'll fly here in his fucking helicopter, and then he'll come in and do the class. He never the days don't change, right? Monday, Wednesday is gi, Tuesday, Thursday no gi, and then Fridays is heroes. He will never bring the appropriate uniform.
Somehow he's always he had to buy a gi today.
Yeah, he has bought so many gis, shorts, and rash guards because he never brings the proper. It never changes, Shane. It's the same. He funds like the Gracie Humaita store.
Yeah. You know, and Tim, he's such a sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, which is interesting. That's a funny story. I don't think I ever told Tim. He may be seen this time. So he was gonna fight Roger.
He did fight Roger.
Yeah. And he beat Roger, right?
Yeah.
So that was we were, you know, in after one of the Metamoris, right? And then Roger was like, you know, sleeping late. I'm like, Roger, like, what are you doing here? Like, he's like a glass of wine. I said, oh, it's okay. I say, Roger, you fighting Tim Kennedy in 5 weeks. That guy, like, you know what he does. He did things that he's been through.
Yeah.
What do you think he's doing right now? He's sleeping. He's waking up. He probably has your face in a target at a mile away. He's shooting right in your head. You're here thinking that a glass of wine is okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then he fought. I was like, dude. And then of course, and then I found out, you know, he was Paulo's student, and how much he talks about jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? He respects jiu-jitsu so much. You know, and Shane, he does wear the proper gi.
Yes, Paulo, he did. He had one on again.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I fought Tim in an MMA fight.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel bad.
It's not good for anybody. It's terrifying.
Well, it's just not good for Pat. Really.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We did a podcast.
The fans won that one. That's for sure.
Yeah, we did a podcast about that one. And
you want to give the cliff notes at least?
No, I don't. I don't want to talk about it again because I have stuff to do and I'll have trauma and I'll be driving and I'll be scared. He punched me in the back of the head 15 times directly to the back of the head. Ref didn't stop it. Tim cheated. He still won one over. I'm not bitter.
Pat's not mad at all about it.
Yeah. I didn't have my cornermen were two drunk dudes I found in the stands because it's the combatives tournament.
Let me know when this podcast come around and when team watches it.
Tim's not gonna watch
We
it.
did a whole podcast about it.
Oh, really?
Tim's not gonna watch this.
Tim laughs all the time that Pat brings it up. He's like, "Yeah, I beat you. What do you want?"
Yeah, he's like,
"What's against the rules?"
I took him down and
He just shows the picture of the hand raise.
Yeah, I took him down, took his back, and then he stood up. So we walked out, we touched gloves, he pulled his fucking glove back, and Superman punched me. And then I took him down, got his back, he stood up, took me down, got my back, and then punched me in the back of the head directly.
Oh.
Yeah. Fuck that. Anyways.
My favorite part of the story, though, I feel like what we're missing is right before that match happened where they were like, congratulations.
Oh, so yeah. So the ref goes, so I won my semifinals was pancreatians, open hand slides. Yeah. And I won. And the guy goes, like when I weighed in, I said, I'm from Fort Hood. And they all kind of laughed at me because it was the very first one they had. They're like, we don't have anybody from Fort Hood. I'm like, yeah, you do. Me. And they were like, and they looked and they were like, oh shit. Yeah. So like made weight, whatever. I made it all the way, went to the semifinals, won my pancreation match. And the ref goes, hey, do you want the good news or the bad news? Like, let's get the good news. He's like, you made it to the very first All Army Combatives tournament. No one thought you were going to do it. And it's like historical. I was like, cool, man. Thanks. What's the bad news? Because you're fighting that guy and they're wheeling this fucking guy off on a stretcher that Tim just kneed in the stomach and they're raising Tim's hand. And he's like, that's Tim Kennedy.
You have to fight him next.
And so I go back to my hotel by myself. There was no smartphone, so I couldn't watch video on it, like nothing. And I have to fight that dude. He's got his pit beanie on, young, handsome, beautiful hair Tim Kennedy. And I'm fucking 7-0 as an amateur. Yeah. I'm 7-0 as an amateur. He's 7-0 as a pro, just murdering people. Yeah. I went there by myself. I didn't bring a coach, cornerman, nothing. Like my unit wouldn't pay for it. So I was there by myself. So I found 2 guys in the stands to corner me.
Oh, wow.
And then he paid with beer.
Yeah. Fucking bullshit. Anyways.
This is a great podcast.
Yeah, this is a very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks
Really
for
appreciate
having
you.
me.
Yeah.
Right on.
What's your Instagram?
Xande Ribeiro, JJ, or Xande Ribeiro, JJ, whatever you can read it. You know, 6 Blades Austin, you'll find me. Just call Zach, call you guys. I'm there.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again, man.
Really appreciate it.
It was